What is going on, you guys? TheRcCrawlerKing here, and today I got another brand new truck from Haiboxing. I'd say they really are enjoying the videos that we're making for them, and if you guys keep liking and supporting the content that I'm making, we're gonna keep doing awesome giveaways for you guys. So today we got the Violent SC short course truck. This is a 1/14 scale RC truck from Haiboxing. You can buy this on Amazon. I'll put a price right over here of what it currently retails for, and you can pick up some of the parts for it on Amazon, and you can also order them directly from Haiboxing. So this is a full-blown hobby grade RC car with a brushless system. I've always wanted to get a short course truck for myself, and as much as it would probably pain me to do a giveaway on this guy, I think we're still gonna do one. So just like all the other videos, I normally say it at the end of the video, but I think we'll just get it out of the way right now. If you guys wanna win this truck at the end of this year, toward like the end of summer, kind of August, fall time, we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna use a random comment picker online to generate the winner of this giveaway. And I'm gonna be sending this RC truck to one of you lucky viewers. So without wasting any more time, you guys, let's hop into the unboxing. So unlike all the other Haiboxing videos I've done in the past, this time I'm seeing it for the first time just like you guys are. So you're gonna see my honest reaction seeing this thing for the first time. I've seen pictures of it, videos of it online, and I was pretty blown away by how cool it looked. I've always wanted to get like a Traxxas UDR, but I think for a much more budget-friendly option, this is as good as I'm gonna get for right now. So let's open this thing up, see what this thing looks like. Oh man, it's like Christmas time, but Christmas has already came and went. Ooh, baby. Wait, no way. What? No, they didn't. They made it like a garage. What? That is so sick, dude. Wow, okay. That's some pretty cool packaging idea, Haiboxing. I'm thinking that's pretty cool. On the list of like coolest ideas I've seen, that is definitely up there. So it's like your brand new truck coming from the garage. How cool is that? Ooh. Man, that looks good, dude. Yeah, I like that a lot, dude. Oh man, that is a nice little unit right there. Now I'm not gonna bore you guys with the controller and stuff. We'll get into that after, but I wanna take a look at the good stuff right off the bat. I mean, who wouldn't, right? So I was looking at some of the product shots. I noticed they finally put a rear tail light. Have I not said it in every single video that we really want to see a rear tail light? So thank you, Haiboxing. And then we've also got a super cool LED light bar in the front bumper. Super reminds me of the Traxxas UDR. Like that's the exact same way that they've kind of got that set up. They got all kinds of scale details in here. They got the spare tires in the back. They got the fans. Yeah, that's really cool, man. The full roll cage is there and everything. And then on the underside, oh yeah, we got metal shocks, metal drive shafts. We got a solid rear axle, just like a real short course truck. We got a solid rear axle, independent front suspension. So that's pretty slick. I'm liking that a lot. Oh, dude, those tires are a little stiff. They're a little on the stiffer side. I think, it's really hard to tell if they have foam or not. Yeah, I can hear some kind of foam inside the tires. So these tires do have foam on them. They are a little bit on the stiffer side. And again, like most of the cars I've reviewed from them, that's to basically give you a little bit of a compromise in terms of performance, but also increase the longevity. Because, I mean, for what this is really targeted toward, the younger kids and stuff, they want to spend more time driving it than they do wrenching on it. So the fact that they include some really nice long-lasting tire treads on there is really nice. Let's pop the body off here and see how they got this thing attached. Kind of curious to see how they integrated the roll cage and stuff and all that into the frame itself. Oh, neat. Okay, cool. So on the top of the body, they actually have two, like, I guess almost like roof rack bars, so that if the car was to roll over, it would scrape on this first instead of the actual Lexan, that's pretty smart. I'm liking that. Okay. Part of the cage, like the back fans and stuff stays with the body. They've duct taped on the harness for the lights. The light stays with the body, and some of the attachments for like those roof rack bars and stuff stay there. And then in order to remove the light, they want you to push down on the object while pulling up here. There we go. So that separates your lid, and you're able to take that off and replace that as a unit if you had to. It'd be really neat if they started to include clear Lexan bodies so we could start to customize some of these cars on their own. I did see in one of the Haiboxing groups, one of the guys painted the shell on the outside. I think it was the drift car. He just wanted to change up the look of it a little bit, but obviously painting on the outside isn't the way we're supposed to do these things. So it'd be kind of nice to see if Haiboxing would include some clear Lexan shells so we could kind of customize the car to our own liking later on down the road. Now this is truly impressive. This is the first time I've seen a full-blown hobby grade setup on a Haiboxing vehicle. This thing has a waterproof on-off switch with the rubber grommets there. It has a WP S16 RTR waterproof hobby wing ESC 2 to 3S LiPo with a 6 volt 1 amp BEC. Holy smokes, that's pretty high quality stuff to be included on a car from Amazon, man. That is cool, dude. Then they got a full-blown 2.4 gigahertz separate receiver this time, so they're not integrating the ESC and receiver into one combo. They are keeping them separate. I don't see, it's hard to tell, man, if they've done any waterproofing to the receiver. Normally RC cars, from what my experience, normally the Axial vehicles, Traxxas vehicles, stuff like that, they include like a receiver box to try and help protect the receiver from getting wet, because it's really hard to waterproof those things. I know conformal coating and stuff has gotten a lot better over the years, so it's possible they may have added some kind of protection to the inside, but it's always really hard to get these connections to not corrode, especially when they got power running through them. So I think still, like all the other Haiboxing vehicles, it does say right on the box splash proof, but I wouldn't go submerging this thing in a pond, you know? Same thing with that light controller. It seems to be kind of out there and a little bit exposed, so I would definitely be a little bit more on the considerate side if you are going to use this thing around water. I know we took the 903A out in the snow, and it was absolutely drenched by the time we got back, but obviously snow is a lot different than absolutely submerging something, so I think this will be able to put up with driving through snow and puddles and stuff like that, but don't go submerging it. It's not a boat. I see a really nice brushless motor. Looks like a little smaller than what I would see on a VXL Traxxas vehicle, like a 1/16 scale Traxxas, but nonetheless pretty beefy little unit in there. It's got a heatsink built right onto it. I'm just really impressed with the geometry of the chassis and stuff. That is a really, really well designed layout, man. And like, look at the suspension travel on that thing. That is pretty wicked. They even have the upper control arms for the rear axle that pivot up and down with it as you move the shocks. They have the adjustable collars to stiffen and loosen the suspension as you want for whatever riding conditions you're on. See, if you're on pavement, you can stiffen those bad boys right up so it's got no lean on it. What I'm really interested in seeing is how this thing's actually going to handle like over the bumps and stuff, because the main thing I really like about the Traxxas vehicle, the UDR specifically, is the way it handles over the bumps and stuff, because they got that long travel suspension. So I'll be a little interested to see if this thing gives me any similar results to that. Yeah, I'm just really impressed. This is a big leap forward, Haiboxing. I'm really digging the new layout that you guys got going on here. Yeah, I don't know if there's really too much else to go into in the frame and chassis per se. I mean, pretty cool little unit. All right, let's put the car itself aside for a moment while we take a look at the rest of the goodies that come in the box here. The batteries are an obvious thing that they normally include two of. I see one of them here, which is a 1100 milliamp hour, 7.4 volt, 8.14 watt hour lithium ion battery. Not actually, it says polymer lithium ion battery. So is that a LiPo or a lithium ion? I'm not too sure on that one. It's the shape of a LiPo, unlike the other batteries that were coming with the Haiboxing Dual that were actually circular like a vape battery, or those 18650 cells. So be interested to see if they have included two batteries. So we'll put that one back in there for right now. Yeah, it's a pretty slick unit. I really like the design on this thing, dude. It's got adjustable turnbuckles even, so you could adjust the toe in and out in the front. That's nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, pretty skookum little setup that they got going on, dude. I like it, man. Ball bearings. I see ball bearings in there. I see metal hexes behind the wheels. Gold-colored metal hexes. Wow, very nice. Okay, so just as a good laugh, the burn hazard sticker wasn't even on the motor. It was just kind of chilling on the box. production things. It's all good. So this one opens up from the side. Ooh, I like that a lot better. Yeah, that's how that should have been done. It was always kind of hard getting the controller onto the box because you had to bend it up. This, I can appreciate the little subtle packing change. That's nice. Bag of goodies, controller, manual, decal pack, some cards, and other miscellaneous stuff. Let's take a look at all this and see what we got here. So the controller is the first thing we get to have a look at. 2.4 gigahertz. This looks very similar, the same as the T-Truck. That controller was actually really nice. I like that one a lot because it includes steering dual rate, throttle trim, a steering reverse, throttle reverse. It includes a bind switch, and then it also used 3 AA batteries instead of just 2, so a little bit more power hungry. There's also a notice on here. It says the LED on the ESC, the throttle trim knob on the transmitter. When the throttle center point is not properly programmed, the vehicle will not be able to go forwards or backwards smoothly. Please adjust the throttle trim on the transmitter until the LED on the ESC goes out and the vehicle remains still, which indicates that the throttle center point has been established. So if you're ever having some problems getting your car to get going, it's because you powered it on with steering trim not centered. Typically an ESC likes to see a neutral point before it actually starts working. So yeah, pretty standard 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, no floppy antenna to deal with. It's all tucked nice and discreetly inside the transmitter. Proportional, brake, throttle, enough to get the job done. Nothing too fancy, but definitely feels much more like an adult sized, actually more of a crossbreed. It's like an adult sized transmitter, but it's still good for kids. The smallest transmitters that I think are really like toyish were the ones that came with like the 1/18 scale Rampage. That controller was so small. It didn't even have a base on it, so you couldn't stand it upright like this, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I mean, like, if you're handing this thing to a kid, like a 1/18 scale Rampage, that thing was basically meant for a kid. That controller is more than enough, but I can appreciate the fact that they include a nice transmitter like this, especially since this is reaching into that more like hobby grade territory where we're using like Hobbywing ESCs, separate receivers, metal shocks, metal drivetrain components. Like, it's getting up there in quality, man. Props to Haiboxing. Let's get the paperwork settled, shall we? Looks like we got a separate standard printout for the ESC, I would imagine. Yeah, so this is a Hobbywing instruction manual for the ESC. It says the peak current is 90 amps. That's pretty crazy, dude. Continuous is rated for 25 amps. That's pretty good. Motor type, sensorless, censored brushless motor, only in sensorless mode. Applications that can be used on a 1/16th and 1/18th on-road, off-road vehicle. So they are pushing it a little bit because they are a 1/14 scale vehicle, but all said and done, I think it'd be more than enough. Motor limit with 2S LiPo, we can run a 6,000 or less kV motor, and with a 3S LiPo, we can run a 3,000 kV or less motor, 2435 size motor. So that's what the spec is calling for this Hobbywing ESC. You're allowed to run 2 to 3S LiPo, 6 to 9 cell nickel metal hydride. Again, I mentioned that BEC voltage in amperage, and the programming port is done through the throttle cable. Shows you a connection diagram here if you were to buy that directly from Hobbywing and set it up in your own vehicle. ESC setup sequence shows you how to set that up. Gives you the programmable menu, so there is some items here that we can program. We can do running mode, forward brake. We can do forward reverse brake. So if you wanted to run this at a track, you can set it up with just forward and brake without reverse. Drag brake force, you can set that all the way up to 40%. You can go from 0 to 5, 15, 20, 25, and 30, all the way to 40. Low voltage cutoff, you can have it disabled. You can set it to 2.6 volt per cell, 2.8 per cell, 3 per cell, 3.2 per cell, or 3.4 volts per cell. So that's kind of nice too, because say you don't want to be so hard on your batteries, you could set that cutoff to be a little bit higher, like 3.2 volts per cell. The default is 3 volt per cell, so they've got it right at the minimum. Punch, you can do level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So default is level 3. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is increase that to 4. Max brake force, it's defaulted at 25%. You can go 50, 75, and 100% brake force. So that's pretty neat. Very customizable. Like that, I can appreciate that. That's super cool to see that on a Amazon RC car. Couple explanations here for things. Programming your ESC with the set button. There's a little mode that just shows you how to enter into that. You can also program it with the programming card. Interesting. Okay. So I have a Hobbywing programming card from my SCX10 for the 1080 waterproof brush ESC. So I'm imagining what they meant by programmable through the throttle connector is you could take that throttle connector and plug it into the programming card and also program this ESC through the Hobbywing programming card, which is super nice. Then you don't have to fiddle around with buttons in a menu and lights flashing and stuff. I find that to be way quicker. You can factory reset it, and then it gives you some troubleshooting steps in regards to if things weren't quite working for you. You'll be able to use that to kind of help figure out what's wrong with it. Haiboxing also has customer support as well too, just like any well-known RC brand. I personally have reached out to them just to get a few parts for some of the vehicles that we've filmed, especially when we're a little hard on them, and it is super easy to get a hold of them, get a response, and get the parts that you need. So gotta love that. Battery safety notice. Yeah, don't joke around, man. LiPo batteries, no joke. They show you some of the things to just pay attention to if you end up crashing the car really hard and you damage the battery. Don't keep using it. Last thing you want is the things that you have fun with burning down your house. Scan with the Amazon shopping app to learn more. So they give you a QR code, use some limited time offers, and you can register your vehicle within 90 days to activate replacement part warranty. They will respond within 24 hours for any defective issues. You can also receive technical assistance and instructional videos at the links included on the card. So that's nice. They only got that little warranty card in there for you. Stickers. I love stickers, man. We'll be able to put these on the car and really make it look nice. That's the thing. It already looks cool and it doesn't even have the stickers on it yet. So they include a bunch here for you to kind of customize it. I'm going to be putting them on just like I see them on the box. And then lastly, we got the instruction manual. So any good hobby grade vehicle that's of decent quality is going to come with your instruction manual. And this manual will have all the information regarding quick start setup, where things plug in, how to drive the vehicle, basically everything from the basics to the more advanced things in terms of maintenance and parts ordering. They got all the part numbers here for stuff that you could need, and they even have the exploded diagrams, which I love to see on any RC car that is of decent quality, because it means that, hey, they want you to be able to fix it. Like, they don't just want you to throw it away when you're done with it, right? If it's broken, you can get the parts and you can reference these exploded diagrams to figure out how that stuff goes back together, because part of the fun of the RC hobby is being able to fix this stuff and learning how to use tools. So props to Haiboxing for including all that inside a nifty little manual. Okay, well, goodie bag. It's our last one to take a look at. Let's open this bad boy up. Ooh, we got 2 chargers. Okay, all right. We get, oh wow, they included a bunch of extras here. So that bag was already open. Imagine the body clips came in that one. We got a spare battery. So like all Haiboxing vehicles, they included a second battery. And I gotta say, I love this so much, because while you're out having fun with one battery, you can have the other one on the charger. And for the most part, I mean, these are pretty slow trickle chargers, but if you do happen to have another hobby grade charger like I do, you can basically charge this at like 2C to really, you know, try and cut down that charge time to like 10-15 minutes. And then by the time you're done with the other battery, because run time's typically about 15 minutes, you'll be able to start using the other one. So you could just keep driving it all day long. I love that. Honestly love that. Because anytime you buy an RC car, what's the first thing you do? You buy a spare battery. Well, Haiboxing already has it for you. So right on, guys. Now, they got a spare, like an actual legitimate spare parts bag. That's wild, dude. Okay. So I don't want to open this one, but they include a spare, one of the drive shafts that goes from the wheel to the differential. They include one of those. They include a turnbuckle, so one of the tie rods, fully assembled with the metal adjustable collar in the middle. They include a bolt drive, the part that goes through the wheel knuckle and powers from the axle to the wheel hex. They include a bunch of the extra little pins for, I would assume, reassembling this drive cup to the drive shaft. So they include 3 of those. They include spare body clips like normal. They always include these spare body clips. So, I mean, this is obvious thing to include for spares. You flip the car upside down once, skid it across the pavement, this thing goes whoop, gone, right? So really, really nice that they include the body clips. They've always been doing that. They've been super great about it. They include 4 in total, so you could lose all 4 of them and still have, you know, your body staying on. Inside this kit here, we have 2 spare metal hexes. So like I said, those gold hexes are metal. They have a bind plug in here. They have a 2 spare wheel nuts, and they also have 2 spare pins for the wheel hexes themselves. They include a Phillips screwdriver and a wrench for removing the wheels. Wow, dude, this has to be the best little starter package I've ever seen included with an RC track from them. Normally you get the, you know, the body clips and this T-wrench and the screwdriver, and that's it. But but they've included like a bunch of little subtle spares in here that like, it's obvious stuff that's gonna break if you're really beaten on it. So the fact that they've included it, that's so cool, man. And then again, 2 USB chargers. So these little guys here, they take 5 volt to 12 volt. They're a 7.4 volt USB charger, and their charging current is 1.3 amps. So we're basically charging those batteries at about 1C when we're using one of these. Like I said, if you wanted to cut that charge time down in half, you could charge at 2C with one of those hobby grade chargers, especially since it comes with a standard Beans connector. You probably have been using those on other hobby products of yours before. So yeah, pretty neat, man. I like to see that they include all that stuff. Well, you know what we have to do before we end the video? We gotta put a battery in this thing, turn it on, see what the lights look like, see what the steering response is like, and see what the throttle's like. I know the batteries probably aren't fully charged. I don't recommend you fire it up right away with the ones that are there, but we're just gonna test it. 2 seconds. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. Let me grab some batteries and we'll try this bad boy out. Now, if I owned one of these things and was gonna keep it for myself, the first thing I would probably do is a quick little modification, as I probably would put some dielectric grease inside the connectors for the receiver and inside the light connector. I know for a fact I can't help myself and go play in the mud with my toy truck, so if they're gonna get wet, they're gonna get dirty. I like to try and keep things working, and a little bit of preemptive care and consideration by adding a little bit of dielectric grease inside those connectors will go a long ways. To hit them while they're fresh out of the box is the best bet. That way they're already clean and nothing's already corroded on them. So yeah, there you go. That's the LED light bar on the car. Pretty bright little unit. I mean, the studio lights are really bright, so it doesn't really even show up in my shadow in here. It puts a little bit of illumination on the table, but I think you'll really start to see that light bar come into play in the dark at nighttime. So I'll have to do a little bit of filming with this thing outside when it's dark outside and see just how bright that LED bar really is. It is lighting up my hand, not too bad in here, which is pretty impressive because these other lights that are lighting everything up are way brighter. And then you got the brake light. Finally, we have a brake light. Hallelujah. Freaking rights. That is so cool. Does it actually do brake functionality? No, no brake functionality. All right, what's our steering like? How's this work? Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice and responsive. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Nice and snappy, pretty responsive. How much torque does it have? Yeah, it's enough to turn the wheel still while I'm holding it. Obviously, it has a servo saver, so if I absolutely grab it and hold it for dear life, it's not going to steer because the steering servo saver is going to protect the gears from getting damaged. Just how that functions. But yeah, it's really cool to see that it still does turn the wheels under heavy load. What's the throttle response like? Okay, not bad. Oh, hang on a minute. Is that a locked rear diff? It is. No way. Okay, that's cool. So it actually comes with a locked rear diff. Check that out, you guys. It's not an open diff. It's not a limited slip. It's just a locked diff. So that should make this thing actually pretty half decent at like off-roading. That's an interesting choice. To be honest, I think that's gonna make it drift super awesome in dirt. So that'll be cool. And then it should make it pretty half decent at going over obstacles. I don't think anyone else that has trophy trucks does that. I think Traxxas's is open diff front and back. And the one that I drove for the dealership, that, what was that? Baja Ray from Losi, that had open diffs too. So kind of an interesting choice from Haiboxing to lock the rear diff. The front one is an open diff. So it does spin independently of each other, but the back one is long. So neat. What a nifty little unit, man. Super big thanks goes out to Andre at Haiboxing for hooking me up with such a sick little unit. I know we have one other car planned to do as well, so I'm hoping their changes that they're doing to it go well for them, and then I'm looking forward to doing that car because it is a car that comes out of the box with a 3S battery. That sounds like fun to me. So, if you guys like what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to be fancy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. You're coming with me, little guy. We're gonna go have some fun.